All right, let's dive right into some seriously impressive engineering. We're going to pull back the curtain on what it actually takes to power one of the most complex professional networks on the entire planet. This is the story of LinkedIn's architecture of opportunity.
You know the feeling, right? You tap the icon on your phone and boom, almost instantly your feed is just there. It feels so simple, so effortless. But in those 200 milliseconds it takes to load, an entire digital symphony is playing out in the background. So what on earth is actually happening in that blink of an eye?
Okay, so it all starts with that single tap. We're going to follow that one request on its incredible journey as it zips across the globe and back, all to deliver a feed that's built just for you.
See, here's the first really clever bit. Your phone isn't asking for a huge, clunky web page with everything on it. Nope, it uses something called GraphQL to send a very precise shopping list. It's like saying, I need this author's name, that post's text, and that one image. It only asks for exactly what it needs to show you, which saves a ton of data, battery, and time.
And that request kicks off this beautifully orchestrated pipeline. So first, your shopping list hits a central gateway, which acts like the project manager. It immediately delegates, asking a feed mixer for a list of potential posts. Then comes a step they call hydration, where tons of requests shoot out in parallel to grab all the details, the text, the images, the author info. Finally, that gateway, our project manager, stitches it all together and sends one neat, tidy package right back to your phone. It's an incredible dance.
But who's actually doing all this work? Well, behind the scenes, it's not one giant machine chugging away. It's much more like we're stepping into a massive, bustling digital metropolis.
And that metropolis is made up of over 2,000 individual microservices. That's right, more than 2,000 tiny, specialized programs all working together, all in concert, just to build your experience. The scale of it is it's staggering.
So why on earth would they do it this way? Well, think about it. If you have one giant application, what they call a monolith, making a change is slow and risky. But with microservices, it's like a city of workshops. The profile team can update their workshop, and the feed team can update theirs, all without getting in each other's way. Now, managing 2,000 of these things is a huge puzzle in itself for sure, but the payoff is incredible speed and innovation. All right, now we get to the most critical part, the real magic. Your network could generate millions of potential updates. So how does LinkedIn possibly pick the handful of posts that you see first? Well, that is the job of the machine learning brain.
The whole process works like a funnel, really. First, a system called Retrieval grabs about 1,000 potential posts that you might be interested in. Then, the real heavy lifting happens. A powerful AI model scores every single one of those posts based on how relevant it thinks it is to you specifically. And finally, a filtering layer comes in and applies the final polish, making sure your feed feels fresh and diverse.
But what does relevance even mean here? It's so much more than just, will you click this? The model is way smarter. It's actually predicting the probability of a meaningful interaction, a like, a comment, a share. At the same time, it's also predicting the chance you might hide or report a post. This all gets rolled into one balanced score that prioritizes valuable content way over simple clickbait.
Okay, so you have all this incredible logic, you have this AI brain, but what is it all built on? All of this needs an unbelievably powerful foundation to run on. So let's take a look at the data systems that make this whole digital city possible.
At the very heart of everything is a technology called Apache Kafka, which, by the way, LinkedIn actually invented and then gave to the open source community. You can think of it as the central nervous system for the entire platform. Every click, every profile view, every message sent, even internal system health checks, it all flows through Kafka as a real-time event.
And when I say nervous system, I mean it is carrying an absolutely electrifying amount of data. LinkedIn's Kafka systems process over 13 million messages every single second. That's the data backbone that connects every single building in this digital city.
So where does all this data actually live? I mean, you wouldn't use a screwdriver to hammer a nail, right? The same idea applies to databases. LinkedIn uses a strategy called polyglot persistence. It's a fancy term, but the idea is super simple. Use the right tool for the right job.
And they've gone so far as to build their own custom tools. You've got Espresso, that's the rock-solid workhorse for storing all your profile and feed data. Then there's Liquid, a super specialist that maps out all the connections, who knows who, at lightning speed. And finally, you have Venice, which is built for one thing,
Pure, raw performance, serving up all that AI data in milliseconds. Each one is a master of its own craft.
So why? Why build all of this? Why go through all this incredible trouble? It all comes back to their core mission, building the economic graph. All of this technology, the microservices, the AI models, the custom databases, it all exists for one reason: to digitally map the entire global economy and connect every person with their next opportunity.
So the very next time you pop open that app and your feed appears in just a flash, you'll know about the incredible digital metropolis working tirelessly behind the scenes. An entire city, all built to connect you to opportunity. The only real question left is, what connection will